I'm going to run this by a medical practitioner, right, who just joined us right now. He is Dr. Sunny Olukunle Phillips, public health specialist. Doctor, always a pleasure to have you join us on the show. Good morning. Are you there?
Great.
All right, can you hear us? Yes. Oh, fantastic. Thank you for joining us. So the topic is sleep hacks. Yeah. Sleep hacks for digital age, practical tips for improving sleep in a tech-dominated world. So Olumide and I were talking earlier, we talking about why sleep is so essential and why we must beat addiction to our phones and other gadgets in order to sleep well. Would you want to throw more light on this for starters?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me start off, and I love your premise on the importance of sleep. Many people underplay it. It's extremely, extremely critical for our functionality and our health. And what we've observed, even from other primates, is that primates like a gorilla and the rest will normally switch off after eating, after being active and engaging uninterrupted sleep for close to 12 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, because your wear and tear needs to be unpacked and refreshed. Your body needs that refreshment to re-engage the next line of opportunities. So when we deprive our body, all we do is to make it less optimal for the next opportunities. Every time we deprive it of the need for it to refresh and re-engage itself or completely put itself back, we make ourselves less fit for the next line of opportunity. So that is where our functionality as being is extremely directly related to the level and the depth and the quality of rest that we have continually and intermittently to repackage us to engage opportunities that presents going forward. Yeah. So that's important. Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, so let's move on to the main topic of today. How does technology impact our sleep patterns? And of course, what are the consequences of this?
This is extremely an important question you have raised. And let me tell you the fact. The fact is this. Human encounter and the depth of encounter and the interaction that we're having now, we've never had it in the history of human being. In the history of human being. So, what are the consequences of this almost ubiquitous engagement with gadgets? It's already unfolded. South Korea, in the last few years, actually now have hospitals to take care of gadget addictions, real life impacting addictions with gadgets.
Wow.
I'm not making this up. You can check on it. So when we say what are the impacts, the impact is massive and it's unfolding as we go forward because humanity has never been here before. But let me now throw this in, which is what many people don't know. The addiction to gadgets is not an happenstance. It's not something that just happened or without thought. It was designed to so be. It was designed by manufacturing company, by makers of all the apps on your gadgets to be addictive. So it is for business case. If my product is not as addictive as my competitor, then I've already lost out of the business. So a lot of efforts are put into even the scrolling pattern. It's by design to engage and get you addicted because the longer spend on my own app, the less you are available for my competitors' app. So it's about business. And many people don't know. So when they just scroll, they think they are the one calling the shot. No, you are just being played by the whoever designed the apps that you are on.
Okay, so let's investigate this further. What you just said. You said it's very intentional. What this, what's it called? Inventors are doing, right? So how do they do it? Is it by studying the psychological patterns of humans? Is that how they do it? How?
So now, for years, if you're in this space, you will know that for years, your tech companies are now going into biohacking.
Aha.
So they have on their payroll psychologists.
Aha.
They have on their payroll neuroscientists that are part of the design process. That is what many people don't know. They think they are just getting interested in a particular app. Oh, no, I'm just moving from one app. You are being played. And we are beings of habits. They know the time that if you do it consistently for a particular period of time, you are hooked.
Yeah.
And it triggers the same point in the brain that are triggered by narcotics.
Yeah.
So many folks don't know that they are being played. Yeah.
All right, you mentioned, I'm glad you mentioned narcotics, because I was going to ask a question now, that how can this be regulated? You know, just like cigarettes, the health professionals have warned that it's the addiction, the nicotine, that makes people get addicted. So this addiction is now what we are dealing with. How can we deal with this? Yes, tech owners, they want to sell a business. They want to sell their product, and they are trying. What they are basically selling now is the addiction. So how can we regulate this so that it does not become a health issue?
Okay, thank you. Already it has become a health issue. It's already it's already a health issue. It's made. It's actually impacted the quality of lives of many people. It's just that we are now gradually making the connections. We're now gradually making the connections. So how do we regulate this? Unfortunately, this is a business you want to be, because it's extremely difficult to regulate. Because the gadget is very critical to other functionality of you as a human being. But we're now talking about the negative impact. So if you talk of regulation, the only regulation that will work in this case is self-regulation. It's self-regulation. Having a time when you don't even bring it near you. Yeah. The other side that people are not talking of is the impact of the continuous long-term engagement and exposure to the wavelengths that these gadgets are working on. Humans have never been that exposed in the history of humanity. So gradually we will be having diseases unfolding. So self-regulation coming from the point of you knowing that these gadgets and your addiction to it has been by design, by intentionality of the producer of the product, and you are now a victim. And being able to walk yourself back out of it. So you can't, unfortunately, you can't have the government say, don't work on your phone after 8 p.m. or don't make sure your phones are switched off. That would be communism. That would be government taking things too far. So it's self-regulation.
What about banning apps? What about banning apps? I know in China, in India, certain apps don't work. What about that? Do you think that could be a way out, banning the total ban of the app?
Thank you. So even if you ban apps, let me tell you what's going on now. It's not even just the app. You will now know that the algorithm is actually now designed to flow with your own interest.
Yeah.
So it's not about the apps now. So you are thinking about something and then you see stuff around that thing popping up.
Yeah,
You're
that's
having a discussion about something and then you see stuff around it popping up. So it's even no
Exactly.
more a half thing.
yeah, but that's where the use of cookies come in, right? There are cookies when you go to the net, and then you yourself give them the permission to use your information, and that's where psychology and what you need comes in. Am I right, doctor?
You have cookies are even the basic, they are the ground floor. You are now talking of remote or remote audio capturing mechanism. You are now talking of remote visual capturing.
Yeah.
And many of us, when we take selfie, we don't know what that selfie is used for. That
Yeah.
selfie is used to biomark you.
Yes. Yeah.
Your interest, your geographical location, where and what time you go after those things. So, and then you pull all the selfies you have taken over the years as data sets, and then they work on it at the back end and can decipher who you are without you knowing. And then we keep on pumping things that you would never reject because we have studied you, we have seen what you have liked over the past 4 or 5 years. So you just find it that you don't even need a app. As it's popping up, it's just matching your personality, matching your interest, and you are soft.
Wow. Yeah, but let's as we slowly drive to the end of this particular topic. When you talk to interior decorators, they tell you some particular colors are good for your bedroom so that you're able to sleep at night. But as a medical practitioner,
Yeah.
how can we create a sleep conducive environment, especially in a world filled with distractions like we're talking about right now?
Okay, so make it a habit thing. Let's start from there. Have a time when you turn off.
Huh.
You don't have to fall asleep, but make sure that period you do nothing. Do not even read in bed.
Okay.
So if it's night, so after some time, you will notice that there is a period when your system turn off. Treasure that period. Treasure it. Meaning that you free that period for commencement of your rest. So timing is key. The other thing is the ambience, which is what you are alluding to, should be such that it facilitates you going into the rest mode. So there are no bright lights. There are no, you minimize the access to noise. If it means shutting your door, if it means letting your family members or your relations know that once it's 9:30, I am resting. Do not knock my door except if it's an emergency. It means switching off from your hotspot or from your data immediately, so that you don't even get the pop-up. It will mean putting your phone in vibration or silence, so that it doesn't trigger you with the sound. So when you do all this, some people will, I advise you to do, if you are the music type, some calming music that can play and just get you to that state of rest. So treasure that period and make sure everything you put within your environment at that period facilitates you going into a rest mode.
All right, thank you for that. Now, as you all know, in Nigeria, we live in a multifaceted community, and every day new challenges come up. And one of the things Nigerians will tell you is, stress, 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 I'm stressed, I'm stressed. So what are the ways, in what way is stress and anxiety disrupting our sleep pattern, and how, or what are the techniques that we can use to address this?
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's we can be on that for a whole day. But let me just say something. Every individual has to play his own personal executive role. Be intentional in safeguarding your well-being. It then means what do you aspire to accomplish? That failing accomplishing it becomes a major stressor for your life. Can you modulate your aspiration so that you do not mount undue pressure on yourself and your life? It starts from there. It starts from you saying, okay, when this negative feedback comes from the society, I will not let it get creep under my skin. It starts from you saying, okay, I've recognized this particular individual, this particular scenario freaks me out, drains me of energy. And then you separate, you disconnect. You do not expose yourself to an agent, to a person, to a situation that you have recognized as a major, major stressor. Many of us, we fail at this personal executive function role, and we have made ourselves victims to these stressors.
Well, it's a safe place for us to
Yes,
land
it
on this
is.
topic, but you have been fantastic on the show this morning, as usual, Doctor. Thank you so much for coming on board.
Pleasure, pleasure. All the best.